Bonjour and welcome to a special edition of Famous Interviews, a show where I summon the deceased to discuss, define, debate, deliberate the very essence of their lives. Who they were, what they accomplished, who they loved, why they mattered. My summoning sense, this ability I brandish, this power I seem to possess, to conjure, to communicate, to call to and bring forth a shadow from the deepest dark to dazzling light is, well, quite simply put, extraordinary. I still find it hard to believe myself. Many have asked if I've ever been tempted to summon the soul of someone I knew, family, friend, lover. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely to share more time with love whose time intercepted, whose existence was snatched, stolen, swept by a swindler, a disease disguised as Don Juan, a Casanova cloaked in calamity, a seducer manifesting only misery. Have I been tempted to perform a resurrection of this spirit, this love? Well, yes, of course I've been tempted. But no, I never did. I never dared tread that stage, and never will. Idols I interview are easily worshipped from afar, across a silvery screen, or perhaps through the Ethernet. They never pose a threat to my emotional well-being, as they've never been a palpable part of my life. I may have loved them, but loved as I would a work of art, a fine wine, a string quartet. Appreciated, but not necessary, nor needed, never essential. In a pinch, easily done without. My love in 3 acts. Act 1, curtain. Enter love, true love. All-encompassing love, indispensable love, intensely passionate love. I can't live without you, love. Crazy in love, love. I will always love you, love. All you need is love, love. Act 2. Enter the swindler. And with a coup de grace, love is ravaged, ruined, eliminated. Exit love. Exit love's life. Exit love's melodious voice. Exit love's tender smile. Exit love's comforting caress. Love's hilarious humor. Love's vigor. Love's vitality. Love's brio. Love's all and all and all and more. Love's final exit. Exit to the swindler. Savagely victorious, callously cruel, graceless and oblivious to the all-encompassing anguish induced, and capable of remorse. Act 3. Enter grief, enter gloom, enter complete desolation and abject descent into a fathomless abyss of boundless despair. As Edna St. Vincent Millay so deftly put it in her dirge without music, I am not resigned to the shutting away of loving hearts in the hard ground. So it is, and so it will be, or so it has been time out of mind. Into the darkness they go, the wise and the lovely, crowned with lilies and with laurel they go. But I am not resigned. Lovers and thinkers, into the earth with you. Be one with the dull, indiscriminate dust. Fragment of what you felt, of what you knew, a formula, a phrase remains. The rest is lost. The answer quick and keen, the honest look, the laughter, the love, they are gone. They have gone to feed the roses. Elegant and curled as the blossom, fragrant as the blossom, I know, but I do not approve. More precious was the light in your eyes than all the roses in the world. Down, down, down into the darkness of the grave. Gently they go, the beautiful, the tender, the kind. Quietly they go, the intelligent, the witty, the brave. I know, but I do not approve. And I am not resigned. Another wonderful poet, Elizabeth Bishop, wrote, "The art of losing's not too hard to master, though it may look like, write it, like disaster." I believe losing masters us, pins us under its leaden thumb, unbearably twisting our emotions like the tail of a kite flagellating fiercely in a wind storm. Losing can sap one's will of even the slightest resolve. It's an epic battle to unlose oneself, to reclaim self-mastery, to untangle one's own tail. And after 2 insufferably long years of wrestling my profound depression, the foggy funk finally began to lift. My outlook brightened, and I once again opened my eyes to the world about me. But in that world I still sensed shadows. It seemed they called out. I wished to answer. There are spirits haunting phantoms haunt. I know they do. I've heard the voices teasing words about you, but I don't understand. The words are not clear. They're too far away, too far from here. And you're so far, too far, I fear. Élève-moi, bavard, their vague parley. What could I do, even if I knew? Oh, they're saying, what good would it do if it can't bring back you to me? So I play my piano, banging out a tune to dull the sound of mumbling shadows, chattering souls, echoing words, the je ne sais quoi. So I try not to hear, mais les voix bavardes toujours. They're vague parley. And so I began an attempt to summon these mumbling, chattering, vociferous spirits and see what they had to say for themselves. It was actually my sweet son Cecil's idea to perform a séance. He thoughtfully furnished me with candles, Ouija board, taught me incantations. Did you know they must rhyme? Cecil taught me that. He thought I might find comfort in endeavoring to contact the object of my bereavement, find solace in summoning my most dearly departed love. My lovely love. Well, to dangle love's proverbial golden apple in front of me face, just out of reach, never to be grasped, never to be held and kissed, nor caressed, nor coddled, would only amplify the anguish of which I was so newly liberated. To see the shadow of all he once was, to be able to behold but to not hold, would be just another form of torment. To want and to wallow in what once was but will be nevermore. No, not for me. I'm no masochist. I haven't nor will I ever be summoning my love lost. I won't dive head first into a dead end as Houdini did. In spite of all his searching, he never found, nor have I, any magic that can return love bodily. You call me shallow, but isn't the body a large part of love? A very large part in his case. They say as the years increase, that part grows smaller and smaller. Of course, they have pills for that nowadays. I kid. I remember a long time ago when I was young. Well, not that long ago, thank you very much. I remember asking my granddad if he and Nan still... Well, after a bit of squirming about, he said, I wouldn't want to bother her. I wouldn't want to bother her. I've never understood that explanation. However did he come to the conclusion that it would be a bother? Rather presumptuous, don't you think? I wonder if she had any say in the matter. Poor Nan, such a dear. She deserved all the bother she desired. I do wish someone would bother me once in a while, or twice in a while, or for a very long while. It's been a very long while. Well, at least I have Cecil, and that's a blessing. Someone to carry on my mitochondrial legacy. If he ever finds a girl and marries, that is. And I have my doubts. Mothers can sense these things. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. I certainly won't be remembered for my silly little confabs with lady luminaries. Have you noticed that even dead they still seem to harbor an inflated sense of self-worth? I find it all a bit amusing, really, just between you and me. I mean, we're all born and we all die. So have fun along the way, I say. Forget about how you're remembered. In actual fact, it really doesn't matter what accolades, accomplishments, or awards one accrues in one's lifetime. Obsessing over the legacy one leaves behind is a waste of time. As Bobby McFerrin said, be happy. Either a trite trope or genuine genius. But that's the trick, isn't it? To be happy. Too many are consumed with the supposed importance of making their mark, like so many cats spraying so many trees, or so many dogs so many hydrants. Wishing to be remembered for inventing the latest gadget, starring in the biggest blockbuster, penning an enduring classic, or leading a global empire. Who ultimately will be there to remember? In 100 years, there'll be only a name in a book, and 1,000, if not completely, nearly forgotten. In a mere 1.2 billion years, everything being relative, the Earth is forecast to be too warm to support physiological life. Perhaps sooner if the oil industry prevails. Either way, life as we know it shall eventually cease to exist completely. Civilization's brightest lights will be extinguished. Ultimately, Earth will be annihilated in the sun's fiery embrace, and all of mankind's history incinerated. like so much trifling tinder. So much for legacies. All of your Shakespeares, all of your Michelangelos, and all of your Caesars will be forever forgotten, as there will be not one left to remember, not one to laud their lofty deeds. Unless, of course, we've conquered space and found an alternate host. But even then what? All of the stars and all of the galaxies will ultimately be consumed by big, black, mass-eating holes. Space and time are believed to be expanding at an ever more rapid rate, racing the entire universe towards an inevitable, isolated oblivion. Even atoms, the very stuff of all matter, are predicted to decay and die a cold and lonely death. And my own atoms seem to be setting the pace. My backbone, for example, must be losing atoms by the truckload. Judging by the pain it's been giving me, it seems every day brings a new decay, a new ache, a new line on me once velvety visage, proving a lugubrious challenge to my relentless cheer and charm. Inevitably, this leads to one unavoidable conclusion. I, too, shall one day in the not-too-distant future be popping my clogs, giving up my own ghost, feeding the roses. It's a fate we are all born to, and in 2 billion years, when all of the oceans have evaporated, we'll all still be dead. Of course, death comes in many forms. For the lucky, it is sudden, a massive coronary aneurysm, quick and with little to no suffering. Or perhaps a peaceful sleep, which no Prince Charming's kiss can penetrate. But for the unlucky, death is cruel, teasing, doling out little doses of debilitating pain and deterioration. Bit by bit, little by little, drop by painful drop, until the final unwelcome plunge of Damocles' sword. I believe it best to bear death's insults with a stiff upper lip. What were you thinking? After all, there is no cure, no escape, darlings. And on that cheery note, and speaking of dead things, me own show, Famous Interviews, no, not yet dead, thank you very much, owes its very existence to the topic at hand. Can't have a spirit without it divorcing its body, can you? No, you can't. Though in my opinion, real death is hatred. Real death is war. Real death is Disney taking over Broadway. I know a little part of me dies every time another cartoon is transcribed to the stage. Where are all of today's Sondheims hiding? Come on, wherever you are. So in sum, dears, we should try not to be too overwhelmed when life reaches its natural conclusion. I am still sometimes unsettled when I look at the KitchenAid Love gave me, sitting on the counter just as it did when purchased 2 whip whites for Love's dainty cakes. Funny, sad, how it's still here, yet Love's not. I imagine it will outlive me as well, and Cecil will be saying something similar as he beats his own batter to a foamy froth. That's as it should be, I suppose. Inanimate objects last longer than biological beings. And quel fromage for that. If only we had aluminium hearts and tin frames, we might all live to greet the apocalypse. But we don't. So I say, forget about the hereafter. Let us celebrate the here, the time we have now. Live it to the fullest. Kick up your 6-inch heels, grab a glass, and have a toast to our wonderful shining moments in this lovely whirlwind called life. Cheers. And don't fret about the Earth's inevitable demise, darlings. It's far, far too distant to be of concern to any of us. All we need is to accept this life, this gift with grace. Be kind, be loving, and most of all, strive to be happy. In 1.2 billion years, physiological life will be neutralized. In 2.0 billion years, all the Earth's oceans will vaporize, will vaporize, will vaporize, will vaporize. I have found that if you find a way for you to build a love for someone who can love you back, it can make you feel fulfilled, fulfilled, vaporized, fulfilled, vaporized, vaporized. Don't be concerned what legacy you leave, or whether your name should fade away. History is always rewritten by our heirs. True truth exists only today. Today. True truth today. All of space and all of time are racing apart, they say. Even atoms, the stuff of all, are predicted to decay. Blow away. Decay. Sashay. Away. Deep, 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 decay. Deep, 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 decay. A final thought. There exists a system to chart all the stars, a metadata analysis directory. But there is no science to measure a love. No formula predicts its trajectory. No directory can predict love.